You ever look at a company's stock price and just kind of wonder, where does that number even come from? I mean, if you look at their official books, what the accountants say they're worth, well, the math just doesn't add up. So let's dive into this little puzzle, shall we?
Okay, let's take Shopify. The market says it's worth a whopping 15 times its official book value. Now, book value, that's just the value of all their physical stuff. Buildings, computers, inventory. So if that's all that's on the books, where is the rest of that massive valuation coming from?
And believe me, this isn't just a tech company thing. Look at Hindustan Unilever. They make stuff you use every day. Their market value is an incredible 61 times their book value. Think about that. Less than 2% of their entire worth is in things you can actually physically touch. It's wild.
And that, right there, is the big mystery we're trying to solve. For a company like Shopify or Amazon, if only about 6% of their value is on the balance sheet, where in the world is the other 94% hiding? Because traditional accounting, it just can't explain it.
To solve this, we really need a new way of thinking. And it all starts with understanding the two fundamental jobs of any business: value creation and value appropriation.
So here's the deal. Making a fantastic product that customers love, that's only half the battle. You absolutely need a strategy to capture a piece of that value, to turn all that customer happiness into real profit and future growth for the company.
The best way to think about it is with a simple pie analogy. Value creation is all about making the entire economic pie bigger for everybody, customers included. But value appropriation? That's about making sure your business gets to keep a nice, fair slice of that bigger pie.
Okay, so let's see how this plays out in the real world. And honestly, there's no better example than the absolute clash of titans in e-commerce: Amazon versus Shopify.
What's so fascinating is their entire strategies are built on creating value for two totally different groups. Amazon is obsessed with the buyer, you and me. They want to give us low prices, fast shipping, the whole shebang. Shopify? Totally different game. They are completely focused on empowering the seller, giving them the tools to build their own business.
And this quote just nails the difference. I mean, Amazon became the #3 diaper company in the world with its own brand, directly competing with the very people selling on its platform. Shopify's promise is the exact opposite. They're saying, we're your partner, we will never be your competitor. That's a huge deal. But here's the thing. Having great tools for sellers isn't enough if those sellers don't have any buyers. This was Shopify's biggest problem. How could they possibly compete with Amazon's 200 million Prime customers? They couldn't build that overnight, so they did something absolutely brilliant. They partnered with Walmart, instantly giving their sellers access to a massive customer base.
And the results of this strategy? Just wow. During the pandemic, when e-commerce totally blew up, Amazon's stock grew an impressive 60%. But Shopify, their stock grew by 300%. That just shows you the unbelievable power of a smart value appropriation strategy.
So what Shopify did, it wasn't just a lucky break. It was a deliberate strategy. And it turns out there's a framework for thinking about this stuff systematically. It boils down to 3 core ways companies can create value.
These are called the value disciplines. First, you can focus on product innovation. Pretty simple, just having the best thing out there, like Intel always had the best chips. Second is operational excellence, being the cheapest or most efficient. Think Dell's supply chain or Walmart's low prices. And third is customer intimacy, building a brand and a bond so strong that people don't just buy a product, they buy into an identity. Like with Porsche.
Now, the old advice was always pick one of these and dominate it, but that's just not enough anymore. The truly great companies, your Apples and Microsofts of the world, they've become what you might call ambidextrous. That means they've figured out how to master all 3 at the same time, like a juggler keeping all the balls in the air.
Pfizer is a perfect example of this. At their core is product innovation with their patented drugs like Lipitor. But they also build customer intimacy with unforgettable brands like Viagra. And on top of that, they master operational excellence, partnering with FedEx, so a pharmacy is never ever out of stock. This 3-pronged attack creates so much value and protects their business from risk.
Which of course brings us all the way back to our original mystery. If the value isn't in the factories or the inventory, then where is it?
And the answer, when you think about it, is simple. The value isn't in the past, it's all about the future. It's the market's collective belief in a company's ability to generate future profits, future growth, and stay resilient. And that belief? It's built on a foundation of assets that accountants don't even track.
These are the real crown jewels of a modern company. We're talking about the strength of its brand, the loyalty of its customers, the power of its patents and software, the brilliant expertise of its people, and yeah, even the geography it operates in. A cement company in a country that's growing like crazy is just worth more than one in a place that isn't. These are the assets that drive future value.
So the next time you look at a company, don't just ask what it owns. Ask what it's building. What are those invisible assets, the customer love, the brilliant ideas, the powerful partnerships that don't show up on a balance sheet but are quietly shaping all of our futures?